and trust. So therefore, actually virtually no cheating. Once you cheat, then you'll be removed from that industry. So this is a historic one of the examples of the cluster. Okay? So that is one of the way to go. And then we have to come, okay, there is a lot of chances in this country. You have a reasonably good metal resources, and also rare metals, and also gas, even oil industry also. Okay, and then you have a very strong agriculture. There are lots of opportunities in this country. If you start entrepreneurs or small business, probably you will face a lot of problems. Okay? Then how can avoid these problems? Well, how many of you have you seen the year 2003's Professor Jerry Kaplan, of the famous professor in Stanford University? Have you looked at by your YouTube? Just raise your hands. Nobody? Okay, then I'm quite safe then. I will not be pressurized. Well, he mentioned to avoid 5 mistakes, and also 5 skills and 5 qualities. More or less same things in a different vocabulary. You are learning quite a lot, probably from your textbooks, reference books, case studies. Probably you've learned too much, actually over-education. And each textbook says the same things in a different vocabulary. Okay. So I will condense it, because my previous boss was almost 40 years ago, advised me when I made a fatal mistake in the Middle East. He said, well, Mr. Fujita, first, when you are, even though you think you are smart, okay, everybody thinks you are University of Karachi, okay? I think maybe above average, smart. Don't try to be a smart, okay? Don't give anybody you have overconfidence. You will lose good advice, and you will make or produce unnecessary enemy. Okay? No need to try to be a foolish one, but no need to be I'm an extra smart one. Right? And then other things. All right. It's a day-to-day knowledge. Of course, there is written in very fancy wordings, but even Bill Gates also said, all right? Can you imagine? What else? You have to respect the food. All right? Someday you might work for him. Okay. My boss said, avoid the food. The same things. We tend to hire the person whom you like. And you want to marry the person who likes. Of course, certainly, yes. This is our natural sex. Huh? In the company also, HRM people, human relations, managers, human resource development experts, Well, we are human beings. So then if you give a good impression or if you receive good impression, you tend to hire these people. But rather you try to hire the person who has sufficient expertise. Okay? That will be, okay, business is not a social club. Right? Even though the person who you dislike and you cannot respect, but you have to respect the person who is the person you don't like. Okay? That is the second thing. The third thing is when you mobilize the resources, yes, after 4, 5, 6 years, even though you are working for big company, yes, you will be a manager and you are responsible for a year $1 million, $100,000 budget. In that case, you have to always think about the aftermath of the impact. Okay? You have to get some corporations from other sections, other divisions. Okay? If you make certain pressure to these organizations, definitely comes reaction and also give and take situation. Okay? You have to consider it. Otherwise, someday you may lose. And these are the 4 points we mentioned. Other things already mentioned, but these things, unfortunately, yes, one more thing. You have to respect your partner, regardless whether you like it or not. When you are working for other countries, of course you have to respect your host government officials. However he is true, however he is corrupt. Okay? You have to really respect. Respect is different from admire. Okay? So these things are the points I would like to mention in here, and you will do it the other ones. Okay? Yeah. Question behind to the menu. Yes. And 11. Yes, that's right. Okay. Okay, please don't, this is not a present. Okay, this is the what will be. Okay. You read carefully this sentence, please. Alright? Here, politically correct teachings have created a generation of kids with no concept of reality and how this concept sets them up for failure in the real world. Right? So therefore the business school have to re-educate you again. Well, what does this mean, the politically correct teachings? Well, maybe you can imagine. Education is, well, has to be neutral. In Japan also happened. But unfortunately, of course, syllabus is also politically oriented, right? So therefore, you have to be, even though this is wide meanings here, right? Okay, next one. Life is not fair. Don't say, oh, government can't do anything. We are not told. I told someone, even IBA graduate, after 1 year, 2 years later, well, we are not told this kind of things. Okay. Please tell me, what is the objective of the education or training? Some make sense? The ultimate objectives of the education or training. Yeah. Well, you are being smart while you are being the graduate of University of Karachi. You are being of the University of IBA or Harvard or Stanford. It doesn't mean anything in the real world. In the real world, always counts what you will do. Okay? Not based on what you are. Okay? Unfortunately, sometimes it's not. Life is not fair. Get used to it. Well, somebody asked in IBA when we had distinguished guest speakers. And then our dean, Isha Singh, said to very bluntly, as you know, he worked for State Bank of Pakistan and also long time for World Bank. Well, it's unfair. If you apply World Bank, if you are not a graduate Harvard, Stanford, or Oxford, your resume straight goes to the trustees. Unfair, but you have to get used to it. We are not saints, we are not wise men, and the world is not ruled by the wisest man. Right? So get used to it. This is the first lesson. Okay, second one. Okay, this is, you find that your distinguished first lecturer mentioned same things, right, in a different vocabulary, in a different sentence, right? The world doesn't care about your self-esteem unless you think something good, accomplish, okay? Well, and then next one. Maybe you have already learned how to write a business plan, right? And also your term papers, you have written. Okay. I thought when I was working in for IBA, all right, you can write business plan and bring it to the bank, and then look at their reactions. Unfortunately, nobody did it. But anyway, what bankers are thinking when you look at the business plan. All right? Your professors think, okay, goal and mission, visions, okay, fancy writings. Maybe you get a good gradings. But bankers are thinking about only the money. Cash is most important point.